we've talked a lot about technical, and we will there are technical benefits to this, but coming to Mateusz's point, top management doesn't care whether or not there's a lot of technical debt or how good or how well coded the ABAP code is that's in the system today. What are the tangible business benefits or advantages to having a clean core?
So I'll split the answer into a couple of parts, I think. I think the first one that'll probably, help to stop senior management, all of us, losing sleep is on a day-to-day operational basis, stability and performance, right? So I like the way that Mateusz termed it before. The less pollution that we put into, the core S4 system, the core ECC system, the better, right? Because you're just by not adjusting it, you're immediately going to see step changes in overall stability, throughput, performance, unexpected behavior. Those things will pretty quickly start to go away. And they're topics that SAP operational teams tend to have to tackle on a regular basis. Now, I'm straying into the technical teams bit there that it only benefits them. It doesn't. They have a cost, right? So many organizations will have calculated what an hour, a 2 hour, a day's worth of downtime means for them, right? So yes, you've got the people cost, those people that have to, try and remediate that problem. There is a cost, but a relatively small one there. But most organizations that are running SAP they're big organizations, right? So it would not be unheard of for like an hour's worth of SAP downtime to be running into the millions of dollars, right? Be that in missed revenue, be that in terms of direct organizational incurred costs, where they're not shipping product, they're not able to interact with their customers. So some of the clients that I've worked for, they measure it every hour of downtime is in excess of $1 million US per hour, right? And so it's fairly easy then to get to a situation where, okay, well, I can make an investment in getting to a cleaner core, because if that's avoided a couple of hours of downtime that I had, this month, this quarter, then that has payback straight away, just from a day-to-day operations perspective. So that I'd say would be, one of the most tangible benefits that you'll get straight away for your operational teams, people who are regularly using the SAP system and those that are interacting with it. The second is going to be in terms of keeping pace with SAP's, upgrade packs, their service packs, their major version upgrades. It's not unusual, right, to spend multiple millions in, especially for a major upgrade, right, moving from, say, S/4HANA 2021 to 2023. I mean, that's a major upgrade. I've seen in the past we've budgeted in the multiple millions to make that step change. So the cleaner that you've got your core, the simpler, the faster you can do it, but also the less that you're going to have to spend, on your own organization, on partners, to recode, to test and to, transform what's there. So it should mean that you're able to spend much, much less in terms of testing and remediation with upgrades, but also that you get those upgrades faster. And as I said previously, you want to be able to take advantage of, SAP's new features and functionality, rather than let that, sit on the desk next to you and, look pretty, but you can't do anything with it. So those would be the sort of the two major things from my perspective. You've got stability and performance that's going to cost you less in terms of downtime, and operational interruption, and then you've got the amount that you spend on doing your upgrades, even if they are, relatively minor ones or major ones as well. So I mean, where companies will have invested in automated testing and stuff, they have an advantage already. But to keep up with that and the amount of pollution and custom coding that you've got, if the more that you can eliminate, the better. And SAP take away a lot of that work for you, right? So if you've got a cleaner core, they automatically warranty that the APIs that they provide continue to work. That's part of the deal, I think, with Clean Core.
Yeah, definitely for the public APIs that there are more and more of now. I just want to replay that back to you as you were talking. I kind of thought about at the minute, and again I can kind of remember this back in some of the kind of former companies I've worked in. You're in a bit of a vicious circle when you have so much custom code that upgrades are so expensive and painful, which means you upgrade less frequently.
Yeah.
Which means you can't adopt newer functionality, which means you create custom code. So you're kind of on that vicious circle. Whereas if you flip it the other way, if you can, to your point, upgrade every time SAP releases a new major release, or even in between. Yeah, you've got the 2 years now for each of the S4 releases, but there's a 6-monthly feature pack stack. If you're able to kind of stay current and adopt the new functionality that you're paying for through your licenses, in terms of what's in the product, then that should not only mean your upgrades are easier, cheaper, faster, but also that you are less likely to need to create custom solutions in the first place. So is that, did I kind of understand it correctly?
Absolutely. And just referencing back to what Abby said before, right? So we're never going to avoid, eventually you're going to have to bite the bullet and do something, right? You might well have put it off, but eventually it's going to be necessary. If you may even start to slip out of maintenance unless you do it, right? So take advantage of needing to do those upgrades, and as you go through and do them, make a conscious effort to eliminate customization, eliminate those custom apps, those custom programs that you've got in your core system, and move them elsewhere. So instead of just correcting them so that they work with the next version, well, instead of spending time doing that, where you can, move it somewhere else so that you're reducing the pollution in your system. That's I think there are multiple ways to skin a cat in this context, right? So I think there are a number of different pathways we can take advantage of the fact that you're going to have to go through one of these updates and upgrades, in the near future anyway, and start to move towards a cleaner core when and where you can. I think we just need to get away from thinking it's an all or nothing, right? So it's going to be iterative. It's a journey, right? It's not something that you're going to fix straight away, but as long as you're on that path, then you'll start to be able to take advantage of it.
I wonder how that skinning a cat metaphor translates into other cultures. But anyway, we won't go on that. Matthias, from your perspective, and I know you've worked with a number of customers, what are the business benefits that you've seen them achieve as part of any of these initiatives?
Yeah, before I answer this, David, I just wanted to say thanks, Ross, for a tip. And it's not the one about skinning a cat, but the one about asking how much an hour of downtime costs, because that's really something that really rings a bell in managers' heads, right? To justify any additional effort to be kind of considered for let's say improving the quality of development or architecture and whatnot. So I think this is something that I'm going to have to add to my list of questions to ask on day one with new customers. I don't know how open they will be to that, but let's try. Thanks. David, coming back to your question, well, maybe without going too much into details, I would just give numbers. So I've seen a customer go from over 4 months to upgrade a system. So that's not downtime, of course, nobody would do that, but 4 months end to end, starting with the preparation, the SPDD, the different technical stages, etc., down to just 2 weeks per box. And I think this is a really kind of tangible result here, and we can surely imagine a price tag of such an optimization.